So, as you may know, Joe Biden had prostate cancer. This is something that was kind of revealed around the end of his presidency. Um, and at the time of its announcement, it was already stage 4. Like, it was kind of too late as it was. Anyhow, recently his son Hunter has come out and provided sort of an update, which, obviously as things have gotten worse, it has metastasized to his bones. If you haven't seen that update, it's right here.
The only thing that I say about my dad, about his health right now, is I wish he would complain more, because it's not good. The cancer has spread, is metastasized into his bones and further. It's very painful, and it's very debilitating in many respects.
Now, obviously, cancer is extremely devastating. Cancer obviously is a really sucky thing. It's probably one of the worst things that you can end up having happen in your life, Top 10 easily. Cancer just sucks. It's something that you can't really prevent. I mean, you can exercise a lot, eat right, drink only water, never smoke, drink, do drugs, get plenty of sleep every night, work a stress-free, low cortisol job. And if cancer wants to get you, it still will. It's just one of those things that's just, you can't plan around it. You know what I mean? If you have a family member that dies from cancer, it's like there's nothing that you can learn to, like, oh, I'll make sure I don't do that. Unless, of course, they were like a raging chain smoker and they had emphysema, then okay, I definitely don't want to smoke. But otherwise, if it's something normal that shows up, like they have pancreatitis or something, let's say, there's nothing you can do. You can't plan to defeat that. And that's what makes cancer suck. Also, once you get it, it's basically a guaranteed death sentence. I mean, yeah, there are cases where people have been able to pull through and defeat it, but even then, even if you do beat it, you're just in remission, and you got to always worry about it coming back, and your chances of that are kind of low. It's more likely it's going to get you than you get it. I think the only other thing that might be like on the same level of terrible as this is like dementia, Alzheimer's, and that's not really so terrible for you because you don't know what's going on, but it's for your family. Your family is the one that has to suffer through this and see your decline and see you just still be alive and still be there, but like just you're not. It's like you're dead, but you're not. You're a zombie, basically. You no longer know who your family is. You don't have any memories with them. It's like they can still look at you and see you and talk to you and hold your hand, but it's empty, and it's just a sad, difficult thing to deal with. So anyway, obviously the situation absolutely sucks for him and his family. This is a tough time for his family, I would imagine. And obviously all his friends and stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the DNC that are close with him, and, this is something that they all have to deal with and think about and mentally prepare themselves for the inevitable. So, obviously, terrible situation, terrible times and all this. But, not to play devil's advocate or anything, but I feel like, this maybe is very late karma. Only because, I say this because, not to wish ill will on anybody. I'm never like that because I don't believe in doing that, wishing ill will. I'm just saying, the situation that's currently at hand, maybe it's just a little bit of karma, because at the end of the day, Biden has really been a very vile person, like his entire life, or at least his entire famous life, starting way back when he was newer in his political career. There was allegations of plagiarism and all this that he did. He was just a fraud then. I mean, here's some clips right here.
Democratic presidential candidate Joseph Biden today faces a controversy that his opponents could use in raising questions about his character. 3 weeks ago, at a debate at the Iowa State Fair, he used phrases identical to those delivered by British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock. Biden did not attribute the words to Kinnock. Instead, he said they were his own thoughts.
Is it a wise idea, though, to take something that personal anyway from another politician and try and appropriate it to your own campaign?
I think it was a stupid thing to appropriate material that was really very personal, that was someone else's.
Most people didn't know who he was, Joe Biden, and now they're going to say, oh yeah, he's the guy who plagiarized.
If they're going to do things that are stupid as well as immoral, then they're probably too dumb to have the job of president.
Voters are going to have to decide whether he was dishonest or dumb.
Senator Joseph Biden may have more explaining to do.
The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School.
So yeah, all that's from the 80s news. Then there was basically how he's been racist all along, which is ironic because they like to call Trump racist all the time, even though there's really no proof of it, but yet we have all this.
The largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. Poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean, and a nice looking guy.
Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
I think the two-party system, although my Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this, I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black in the South. I'd quote, we already have a nigger mayor, we don't need any more nigger big shots.
And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, there's also his weird creepiness with how he is around kids. Like, just take a look at this.
You're Thank you. All right, well, nice to see you guys.
Did you want to get Vice President? There we go.
Can I go with just alone?
Dad's going to stand pretty close. So.
This is a long day. Walking. Don't tell me what you have to.
Lucky man. He's having fun. Thank you, sir.
No serious guys. You're 30 years.
Everybody else is looking forward to it.
Grandpa's one of the big guys.
That's nice.
No, I'm not saying it. He knows I knew it. Remember what I told you last time I saw you? Do you remember what I told you? No, not smile. No date till you're 30.
And then on top of that, I didn't have a clip of this to add, but there's the whole Ashley diary situation. I don't know how true that is, how valid it is, or whatever, but it still exists, and it's still weird. So, there's all that vileness. And then when he was president, he was extremely divisive. He treated half the population like we were domestic terrorists that needed to be eradicated. Republicans, he always acted like we're the worst things in the world and just extremely vile, hateful. He was always yelling at others, talking real low. And then I'd have to yell at the sky all the time. The guy was just terrible. So, yeah, it's almost like this is just a really delayed karma getting him. Like, hey, maybe you should have been a better person. Meaning like the cancer, the karma saying it, not me, the karma saying that. And then also another thing I find kind of, but ironic, I guess, is, everybody talks about how Trump is so terrible and, oh, Trump is blah, blah, blah. He's the second coming of Hitler and all this. But yet, there was that whole incident in Butler, PA, during his campaign, where a slight turn of the head at the right moment literally saved his life. You got one guy who there's claims that it was divine intervention to save him, and another guy who possibly has divine intervention to I mean, who's the bad guy here in that scenario?